Hello! You didn't think you were going to be hearing from us today, but here we are. We didn't think we would be talking to you today, but here we are. Surprise! I'm going to wait for a few minutes to see if anybody wants to tune in. I know you guys had no notice that we were going to be here, but as you know, this will be posted in the Goddess Daily after we finish recording, and so you can watch whenever you want, however many times that you want. Quetzal, hi! I like that you're here. So welcome, everybody. Today, Jupiter goes direct after being in retrograde since, was it the end of April?
Or the beginning of April.
The beginning of April. Who's here? Who's here? Amy, hi! How are you? Oh, she disappeared. So we just wanted to just talk to you. Like, have you felt the shift in energy lately? I have. Have you felt the shift in energy lately? Like, things have started to change since Friday, I feel like. Or, yeah, for me it was Friday when things started to
I feel like this whole week, but yes, it's been more
like a week of transition.
Yes.
With a let go closer to the end of the week. So just know, hopefully you're feeling some kind of relief. I know that these astrological happenings create a different experience for all of us, and so how you've experienced may not have been how we've experienced. One of the things that I've listened to in some of the astrology videos was that, and maybe it was Uranus and not Jupiter, but just like springtime, summertime, there's been this pause for all of us where we've had to turn inward and kind of look at a lot of things that we didn't want to look at, and there wasn't really a lot of momentum and stuff moving forward, though there may have been like these short bursts of things. Ultimately, like the overall vision that we have or goal or whatever it is that we're conjuring in our lives, Quetzal agrees. It has been like there's been a little bit of like, it's like the emergency brake has been on while we've been trying to have the car and drive and moving forward.
I'm still learning more about astrology and all of that. I was under the impression like retrograde, no matter the planet, because the planet represents. Not that you're gonna think.
I thought I was too.
A particular aspect. So like,
Each planet represents.
So like if it's
different.
communication, then you're looking at
When Mercury's in retrograde.
Yes, you're reevaluating all of those places that there's communication breakdowns or places you want to clear up boundaries within communication. So the same with...
And Jupiter is the planet of luck and fortune and all of that. So
Yes, like the places where you've planted things you don't necessarily want to keep tending to.
what have you planted that you no longer want to keep tending to? That's a great question. If you need something to take to your journal, like, go journal about that or just think about it.
Because
like,
what's been happening the last few months for you? Like, what are those stories that you've been examining? What are those places that have felt uncomfortable to, like, look at? So,
yeah. And even behaviors that you feel over participating in or relationships that you're just ready to put down so that they can either be over or so that a new chapter can begin within them. And I really think a lot of this is directed towards our relationship with ourselves. You know, like there's a lot happening around us. There's a lot happening around us in all the ways, but really like you have to bring it back to yourself and what you're doing to strengthen your relationship and understanding in your sense of self. Because the better you know yourself and the more you know of what you want or how you want to feel or where your boundaries are and what is unacceptable and not okay anymore, you know, like knowing those things is what helps shape your life moving forward. I see Alicia there. She came to my show on Friday. Made me so happy. Okay, so we wanted to pull some cards for you guys. If you are interested in diving into more astrology conversations, there are two people that we like to watch. One in particular, Jess of the Bahati Life, and she's all over the place, but YouTube is where she posts her full length videos. And she just posted a pick your card reading that Heather and I both listened to this morning. that was perfect and wonderful. But it's Behati Life, Behati Life on YouTube, and her name is Jess, and she's an amazing card reader and intuitive astrology interpreter. And I don't know, she just always kind of says exactly what you need to hear. Her, and then Kai Pacha on the Pele Report, P-L-E. P-E-L-E, there we go. On YouTube, they post videos weekly, sometimes more than that, but definitely weekly. So I would recommend. Hi, Jamie. Welcome. I'm gonna wave at you. So if you want to like learn more about astrology, those are the two sources that I would recommend looking into. And then a website, astrolore.com, is also wonderful. And Astrolore, she's on Instagram as well. So she has more of like these little tidbits, whereas the Pele Report and the Behati Life go into depth on stuff. So there's a little bit of everything if you want to dip into the astrology world.
And they're even, not to talk over you, sorry, they're even like, they speak the same thing in different ways. Yeah. So like,
you have to find what resonates with you.
And like, you can hear the same thing different ways, and it resonates deeper, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So we're going to pull some cards for you guys today. I don't know. I wasn't thinking it like it was for this week in particular. It's more of just like, this is the cusp of a new beginning. There's something shifting right now. There's a new energy that's present. I just wanted to pull some cards and us provide you with some kind of words that will maybe give you some clarity or direction on where you're at moving forward and what you're envisioning for ourselves. Because I do think that for all of us, this is a time to take ourselves a little bit more seriously. And that doesn't mean like you can't have fun and play and all of that is involved, yes, but like value yourself, girl. You know, like you are here, you are strong, you are becoming clearer every day. You know what you want, you know what you don't. It's time to stop doubting yourself. And please, like, I'm talking to myself too, okay? Like I don't have it all figured out. This is, every day we are evolving. Every day we are trying harder or, you know, just better. So cut yourself some slack, but really take seriously your value in this world and how important your vision is. And know that there's nobody else that can validate that for you except for yourself. Like you can have all the affirmation around you that you want. You can have all the people that love you and reaffirm like who you are and what you're doing and yes, 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 all of the time. And it's still, there's always going to be a moment that it comes back to you where you have to be the one to stand in yourself. You have to be the one who knows clearly what it is that you're standing for. Because nobody else can see that, you know? Like you're the only one that's inside of your body and your head and your life experience. So you have to really take responsibility for that and what you're doing with it. And I say that seriously, and also like, it's time to have some fucking fun.
I'm sorry, I was like, she's gonna watch this back herself sometime too. Because like, that is the conversation that we have amongst ourselves too, that exact value yourself. And
but you only see it when you see it.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
It's not, you can't see it all of the time.
No, but like the seriousness about it, that is fun. That is where that sweet spot is. That is where like the meat of the matter is, for lack of a...
Getting excited about who you are and what you're doing and the places that feel good. And even the places that you're choosing to clean up, you know, because every time you do that. And that... There's divine timing, you know? So I know that there's all things within ourselves that we want to see come to fruition now. And I don't necessarily even mean in a material sense, but more of like the experience that we're having with ourselves. There's always going to be something that we're like evolving into craving more of. Don't put aside your impatience. Put aside your doubt and just know like you're moving towards that. It's going to happen. It's already happening. This is part of that. Like you have to be here. You have to go through this. You have to sift through all of these pieces and threads and be present with it and clear shit away and add some more stuff and like reassess and that's the process, you know. It's all coming. It's arriving at the perfect time. Your job is to do what you need to do right now to be ready for it whenever it does. And you know that there's places that you need to clean up. You know there's places that you've been cleaning up, you know? So, like, acknowledge yourself for that and know that you're doing the work. And when those waves of momentum and ease arrive for you to do more, do it. And when you're in a lull and, like, you need more rest and can't do as much, take it, because the wave is going to come again and you're going to be able to ride it. But if you're too hyper focused on, like, what's not happening, then you just can't be present to ride the waves when they're there, you know? So, like,
it's almost you deplete your energy before that next wave comes, so you can't ride it.
Yeah, because you were too busy, like, trying to swim either way, when it's like, if you just relax and float and, like, be uncomfortable for a minute, feel some shit that's coming up for you for a minute, it'll pass. It doesn't last any longer than a couple days. And if you feel like you've been in a shitty space for an eternity, I want to know, are you documenting daily how you're feeling? Are you documenting the things that you're grateful for? Because if you're not writing that shit down when you're in the middle of a bad place and you look back, all of it's going to feel shitty. You know, like, you need those reminders that, oh yes, like, today feels shitty. Maybe yesterday was too, but actually 3 and 4 days before that, I was floating and things were good. So be real with yourself, please. Be real with yourself.
And the places that you're participating in the story that's dragging you down, you know, like,
Stop doing it.
Yeah, in the midst of cleaning stuff up, you can't disregard the places where you're not doing the work.
Yeah, and also, like, you don't have to beat yourself up about that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're unable to get to a place where you can do whatever it is that you need to do, that's fine. Put it down and let it come back when you're ready. But don't sit there and, like, mentally beat yourself up because you can't either do something about it or don't do something about it. And if you don't, then put it down. Like, you'll have another opportunity. You'll always have another opportunity. There's never ending opportunities.
And I know we're speaking, like, in the broader spectrum of things, but, like, if it's an emotion, say, that you aren't enjoying sitting in, don't distract yourself from it. Like, get up and sweep the floor. Get up, wash a dish. Like, it doesn't have to be a big movement, and that small action is still building to where you're wanting to go. And in this moment, the most important thing is how you're feeling. And if you're feeling
Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed, or, like, you can't move, what is one small step to take? Like, can you pick up a broom? Mm-hmm. That was just my first thought of just, like, moving the energy just a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that that's a good example because the action that you take doesn't always have to be, like, directly related to whatever it is that you're trying to heal. It's more about shifting your energy to something where you're feeling a little bit lighter. So picking up the broom and sweeping the floor, your mind, like, you're able to think while your hands are busy. Also, a clean space, like, supports and promotes you and, you know, feels good. And I'm sure that was on your list of things to do anyways. But, like, having that task at hand where you're not just sulking in something, you're not sitting and stewing in something, you're able to, like, that helps you move it around for change.
And, like, the thing that we all get lost in is we try to do it all ourselves. And the action of sweeping creates the space for the miracle, a shift in perception that happens when God, spirit, whatever you want to call your higher self, that energy, it doesn't matter what you say, it's called, you feel it when you feel it. And it's not a you, but it is you at the deepest essence. So, like,
if you're in that emotion and it, like, takes up all of your space and then you go do that thing, it's like you free up something, and then there's room for God to enter. There's room for the miracle to happen. Yeah. We're talking to you. And us. We're talking to us too.
Yeah.
Okay, let's pull some cards.
Like we said, without experience, you wouldn't be able to, like, this is us sifting.
I've had a lot of experience lately.
There's There's so much behind the scenes. You don't even.
You don't even know.
Don't even know.
You don't even know. You don't know.
Life.
Okay. You want to read yours first or last?
I don't know. I feel like there's one more after those, so maybe this is the beginning. I take time now to go within in order to find my own center of peace and harmony. I let go of the attachments, illusions, and agitations of the ordinary world. I look to the world with my soul's eyes in a wise, calm, detached, and loving way. This allows me to grow and to find joy and freedom in all that I do.
That made me. We pulled cards for ourselves this morning with Madeline. I don't know if you're watching this, Madeline.
A shout out.
Shout out to Madeline.
And Katie, we saw you too.
I pulled a card that was about joy and like honing in on that. And there's.
Can I say something funny? She went to the bathroom and Madeline was putting up the cards, and one of them jumped out, and it was that card. So obviously that's a repeating message.
Not to go into too much detail and into my experience, but broadly speaking, there are specific circumstances that I had found myself attached to, and like Madeline just messaged me on Facebook. That's funny. Sync. Where like I want a certain thing to happen, I want my experience to look a certain way, but inside of being attached to those things, it distracts me from tuning in to like my joy, to where it is that I really feel good. And I played a show on Friday night for the first time, and that was just like this supercharge of energy for me that cleared away a bunch of bullshit that I had been sitting in for a while. And it's almost like, to feel how it is that we want to feel, we really have to be willing to surrender it all, to surrender what the vision is, to surrender the details of how it looks, to surrender just like really to let it all go. Because if we're holding on to the attachment of the material illusion, then yes, like that thing may very well come to fruition, but is it going to be in alignment with what it is that we wanted to feel? Or, I mean, most of the time it's not, So yeah, I wanted to say that. And like, that's a process that comes and goes. Right now I feel unattached because I feel like clear and good and everything is good. But there's going to come a moment when like I want something so badly that I'm holding on to it. And like that in and of itself often causes the suffering in the first place. And like you can still choose to hold on to that and stay in the suffering, but it just makes the process longer. So just if you're in that space and you feel like it has to be this one thing or it has to be this certain way, just remember like you can let go of that and things will fall into place how they need to. And it doesn't always mean that you have to give up what you thought you did either.
And also like suffering is different than uncomfortable or pain, or suffering is you're choosing that, when you let stuff go, there is going to be some grief and possibly regret. And
I feel like suffering for me and is like directly related to the awareness of lack thereof. Mm-hmm. Like whatever it is that I'm wanting, if I'm fixated on its absence or its lack thereof, I'm in a state of suffering. Mm-hmm. Remember that, future Megan. Are you watching this right now? What does Quetzal say? So true. Release and surrender saved my life, honestly. Amen. Okay, so the first card is Sisterhood of the Rose. He's so pretty. Beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. Share your voice. Come out of the cave, persecution, expression. And Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? So I feel like Sisterhood of the Priestess is like the feminine energy that's present right now. We are fucking rising. We are rising. We are. And like, I know you can feel that within yourself, not just collectively. And I know that there is a lot of external, like, yeah, but are we really? It's happening. Like, no matter what it seems like externally, it is happening. We are on this gravy train. Like, is happening. So the way.
Sorry. I was hearing Brene Brown in my head. Like, what? I know we've mentioned it before or posted about it. Watch that Russell Brand with Brene Brown. Like, she's been watching, and this is like human experience on the earth. Like, you can go to the Pele report and all of that and see the actual energy too. But like, she is studying patterns. Like, it is rising and it's changing. There's a change coming, and like, it just is.
I wonder if some of the men in your life have been showing more of their emotions, because that conversation has come up with a lot of women around us about just men being more vulnerable, and even like our experience in supporting them or housing them in that. And so for some people that I've talked to, like the discomfort that arises inside of that too. So really, like, it just goes back to what we were talking about. The most important thing that you can do is like to get sovereignty is a better word, sovereignty over self, so that you're just very clear on who you are and you know what you need to do to support and love yourself. And because there's going to be there's just there's more coming. So like, you really just need to be clear on you and do what you need to do for yourself. And I know that's always, but like, I feel like some of us have been getting some very clear, strong messages on what that is, and it's time to start listening to them. And it's not always easy to communicate what you need to, and it's not always easy to create boundaries, but like,
or listen to boundaries.
You have this one life. You know, how old are you? How many more years do we have here? We don't know. So just like, it's time. We have to share your voice. Come out of the cave, persecution. I mean, that just speaks to that too. Like, it's time for you to shine. It's time for you to unshackle yourself and feel free. You know, what is holding you down? What are you willing to let go of? What are you feeling called closer to? What is, hi Tasha, what is lighting you up? Those are the things. Answer them. You know, like, soak up all this joy. Soak up all this love. Find your appreciation. Know that you're doing enough, and be willing to clean up the places where you feel like you could be doing better. And then the last one is, where you being called to journey to. Oh, hello. Cool. Okay, what's the last one?
Okay. Every time a door closes, another one more magnificent opens up before me. Divine wisdom is now guiding me through positive changes for my highest good. I stay open and receptive to its messages. I let myself go with the flow of life, knowing that I am divinely guided now and forever.
And earlier in the conversation, I did say something like opportunity. There's no shortage of opportunities that will appear as you move forward. So, that's all we have for you. I feel like that's enough. Like, these are
That's me waving.
These messages are so clear and precise, I feel like. And I encourage you to go watch the Bahati Life or the Pele Report, or whatever astrological person you prefer, but just to get information. But we love you.
Yes, we love you. Saying that information thing. Being willfully ignorant is not of what we're moving into anymore. Like,
to put on blinders.
Yeah, to believe that you are not part of the collective, that what you do doesn't affect the collective, and not in a, like, I don't know the word, but your actions are important. Like, there's enough information out there
where you can educate yourself.
Yes.
And some of it's not easy to look at, but it's the truth of our reality, and we have to see it. We have to bring it to the light in order for it to be healed.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is bringing it into our consciousness and awareness. Thank you guys for being here. Yes, Tasha. If you're just joining us or if you're watching this later, thank you for watching our post Facebook Live. The full moon is coming up on Thursday. I don't know if you have any rituals planned for yourself, but be thinking of that. If you want to put out some water in a mason jar and have it under the full moon so that you have some charged moon water to take in and enjoy, or putting your crystals out or any of your sacred objects from your altar. What else do you like to do on a full moon? Burn herbs, rosemary or bay leaves or sage, incense.
Yeah. I feel like you kind of covered what I like to pull card.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the light, so I do like to stand under it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go out and stand under it. Laura Lynn! Hey! Laura Lynn is going to be here in this space on October, 23rd and 24th, I think, that last weekend in October. On a Friday and Saturday, she's leading
That is Karen.
Hi, Karen.
I waved at you earlier, but then I was like, I should have said something. I just
Yes.
waved like you knew I was talking.
Karen is putting her pendulum in the moonlight.
Oh,
Tasha, the full moon is on Thursday, this coming Thursday.
But Laura
Lynn, yeah, she's doing a prayer painting workshop here, 2 different workshops at the end of October that we're very excited to host for her. And this is what you're looking for. We have these amazing koozies that are here that have her paintings on them too. And I can ship these. They're $12 a piece. If you purchase one, I will also send you a free box of our Nag Champa incense. So just know that those are available to you. And you can message me or you can comment below and I'll make sure that we get the information we need to ship those to you. So full moon Thursday, plan a ritual for yourself, even if you just spend some time journaling. Oh, I like to take baths. I've been taking Epsom salt. Were you just thinking that?
Well, I was thinking of a facial because I
Yeah.
like doing that.
Skincare.
It's easy to do with Marley.
Okay, then I'll message you, Lydia, and we will get you one of those koozies. Consider taking the prayer painting workshop too. So we'll provide you with all of the supplies. We're going to feed you. It'll be like a mini retreat thing here. And Laura Lynn will take you through the process of creating your very own prayer painting. So it's not like painting with the twist where we're all doing the same thing. It'll be an individual reflection of, yay. Tasha's in Wisconsin visiting her parents. So thank you. She'll be celebrating the full moon there. But yes, Lydia, I'll get you a koozie and I'll get you the information about the workshop because we are filling up. It's going to be wonderful, and I can't wait to have Laura Lynn here in our space and just like love on her and all of her magic. Follow her on Instagram at Laura Lynn. I think it's just Laura Lynn, LORILYN, because she just posts beautiful pictures and videos of her work and life, and she kind of her life seems to be a living ritual, or that's my experience of her. So yeah, cool. Thank you guys for being here. We're enjoying doing these live videos with you. And we might pop in on the full moon. I'm not going to make any promises, but we will do something for you. And until then, please take care of yourself and answer your callings and start taking the life that you're creating a little bit more seriously. Like the desires that you're having, the things that you want to put down, but maybe you feel afraid to. You're welcome, Lauren. It's true. It's all necessary. Your soul is speaking to you. It is time to listen. We hope you have an amazing self-care Sunday, and we'll talk to you soon.